Funding for what I do is provided in part by my generous supporters on Patreon, and by direct donations from viewers like you. Thank you! Heyo, Calvin here. Today I'm going to be doing a little tutorial to show you how to build Brux GDK from source. So, not everyone wants to use the stable build. Some people want to use the most unstable, and some people just want to build it on a platform that I haven't got it working on yet. So this is for people like that, and I hope this proves to be helpful, so let's get started. First thing you want to do is make sure that the following packages are installed. And by the way, this tutorial takes place on a Linux machine. It does have cross-compilation for Windows, but if you're actually on Windows, you're on your own. Sorry. So anyway, you just want to make sure that these are done. Yep. Install git make and build essential. I don't need to put in my password here normally because these are already installed, but it asks for it anyway. So as you can see, these are already done. Next, you want to make sure that you've got the SDL2 development libraries. So install SDL2 *-dev, and this will give you all of them. But if you're on Mint like me, you're going to have an error here. Okay, that's weird. In an earlier take, it was actually giving me trouble about this. It was a package it didn't want to install, until I said it explicitly. But yeah, you might get an error telling you, okay, this installs some sort of Mesa something or other. Install that manually first, and it'll work. But it's behaving this time, so this is most unusual. Normally it's the other way around. Things should work and then they don't. And here it shouldn't have worked and it did. So this is all going to install. And it's going by rather quickly, that's nice. So yay! Next we're going to come here to the Squirrel releases, and I'm going to put links to all this stuff in the description down below. There will also be links to the libraries that you need to use to install MingW and get that working for compiling on Windows. You're just going to grab the source code here. We're going to move that into our code. Blech. Did not want to go. There we go. Move it into our code folder. I'm going to go in here. I'm just going to open terminal and say make. There will be a lot of warnings, but don't worry about those. It's fine. And now we have here our include folder, ta-da, and our lib folder, ta-da. So now we want to copy these over. And before we do, there is a little quirk. Some Squirrel projects, oops, no, this one. Some Squirrel projects will have their their headers in a folder called Squirrel3 in the include folder, and some of them won't use it there. So just make a quick copy of that for both. And now very carefully, more careful than a badger in a den of snakes, switch to root, because you need root to be allowed to copy into the proper folders. I'm going to copy include and lib. I'm going to come over here to your file system, user, and paste. And there you go. So now we can come in here, code, and we're going to clone Brux. We're going to do git clone https github.com open shadeway Brux gdk.git and name the folder Brux. I mean, you can name the folder anything you want, but I just like to have a shorter version of the actual repo name. If you don't include a name here, it'll just use the repo name as a folder name. And there it is. Now we're going to open with VS Code. Actually, no, I'm going to do this in the regular terminal because it's more zoomed in this way. Alright, so you want to go into the RTE folder, runtime environment, and in here, just hit make. This will take a moment. And ta-da! Come in here to RTE bin, and there it is, a working Brux executable. Ta-da! Now then, let's do this for Windows. So we need to get the proper MingW packages. So apt search MingW. And you should see here, MingW W64, we want that. So sudo apt install MingW W64. And you want the development tools down here. MingW W64 x86 64 dev. There's quite a lot to be added here. Now naturally, if you're on an Arch or Red Hat based distro, installing the packages is going to be different, but now you know what libraries to look for. Alright, so that should have created new folders here in the user. There it is, the x86 folder. I'm going to come into our downloads. I've already downloaded all the libraries needed for SDL2 and its extensions, and Squirrel. And just like with that Squirrel one before, I'm going to have a Squirrel 3 folder. And, as before, very carefully, slower than molasses drips off a spoon. Copy all of these. Go to user, x86-64 MingW 32. You're going to paste all those in there. You see this bin folder has a bunch of DLL files. We're going to go to the bin folder with the ones that we downloaded in here, same DLL files. These DLLs are needed to run the executable on Windows. So now we're going to come back here into Brux, make Windows. Gonna see the same warnings. Now you don't need to build Squirrel for source for Windows. And the reason why I build Squirrel from source for Linux is because I'm using the statically linked version for it. And if you install from your package manager, I don't know how it'll work on other distros, but on this distro, it does not include the static link libraries. It only includes dynamic link. So you have to build from source to get the static link working. But as you can see, it's just simply run a make file and then copy some files into another folder. So here, we have successfully built the Windows executable. Go back into the bin folder, and here it is. And remember to package those DLLs I mentioned here with this executable if you're shipping a Windows build. And with that, that's basically all there is to it. So I hope this video has proven to be helpful for anyone who wants to help work on Brux, or maybe package their own game with a Brux runtime built into it. You can put these executables in the same folder as your game, and just name your game's main file game.brx, and these executables will find it, so you can name the executables whatever you want. So that makes it very easy to package the whole runtime with your game. And since it uses the statically linked libraries, you do not need to install Squirrel on other Linux machines that are running Brux. you only need to install SDL2 and its extensions, which most of them will have for gaming purposes anyway. So that's one less dependency that you have to carry around for your users. So yeah. So anyway, I hope that this has been helpful, and if anyone has any issues, please let me know in the comments below. Please remember, when downloading the libraries that I'm going to be linking for MingW, to also include the dependencies that each of them list. Download those as well. Otherwise, it's gonna break. And I think that's it. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been interested in Brux so far. I honestly just made this like for myself. I didn't actually expect anyone else would ever get interested in it, so I'm honestly surprised people are using it. But yeah, I thank you all so much for your interest and your support, and thank you all for watching this video all the way through. And I hope that you guys will join me again next time. Bye!